Today, I'm going to teach you how to revise for your A-level Maths Paper 2 in 6 days. Remember, your revision plan doesn't need to be perfect, okay? But it just needs to catch all the mistakes that you could be making. So number one, you need to diagnose the weak topics from the paper one that you just sat and from the past papers, okay? This is what you're going to do in the first day. Now, hopefully you've already done this, but if you haven't, today's the day, okay? Please do this. This can honestly take half a day and then you can dedicate the rest to the rest of the plan, because this is just the basics, this is the foundations, but the rest needs to follow to see those results. Also, A-level maths revision, I'm going to link this somewhere, but it's got a really cool past paper tool where you can put the past paper in, you can put your scores in for each of the questions, and then it will tell you which are your weak topics and that you need to revise. Okay, so please use that tool. Okay, this website is really awesome. It's called A-level Maths Revision. You want to use the exam paper analyzer. You're going to input the paper that you just did. This is for Edexcel, unfortunately, but for the AQA students, I've got my own method of this essentially that I will be going through in the rescue session. So if you're interested, please check that out. But here, you input your scores. It tells you what topics need immediate work and what topics need just some work based on how many marks you got. Enjoy. I have no idea why it's not erasing properly, but whatever. Okay, next. Okay, day 2, you're going to focus on the calculus and your algebra cleanup, okay? So what you need to do is make sure that you're 100% with differentiation and all the different types of integration, because it makes up a huge chunk of the stuff in the pure, okay? Calculus is just integration and differentiation. And then algebra, you've got to make sure you're not making the small, silly mistakes that are going to catch you out. Like, you don't want to skip steps in the mark scheme that are actually quite important, but you think, oh, okay, it's fine, it's quite obvious. No, get everything down that you can. You don't want to make any mistakes on the domain and the range of certain functions. Small things like that, they will add up. So you need to make sure that you're watching out for that. And day 2 is all about making sure that you know how to deal with every single one of those. Okay, and a couple of other things I'll kind of try and list them on the screen as well, is when you differentiate something properly, but then you interpret it wrongly, or when you mess up the constant when you're integrating. Okay, some small things like that will add up, okay? And they will throw you off as well, because your answer is not going to be correct, even if you know the method entirely. Okay, also make sure you read modelling questions correctly, because they're usually long and wordy and you can get caught up by them, okay? Also, don't lose easy method marks by not showing all of the steps like I just said, okay? You want to make sure that you're not just doing topic revision, you're also doing that timed practice, okay? That timed mixed question practice. I will include this list of mistakes somewhere for you to download and use for yourself. And I am also hosting an A-level Maths Paper 2 rescue session. So if you are interested in joining that, please fill out the Google form that I'll have linked in the description below. Okay, make sure you bring that list of mistakes to the rescue session. Okay, this is day 3. So make sure that you are 100% with these topics, with all of these topics. And of course, use the predictions that we've provided by loads and loads of YouTubers, if you haven't seen, and loads of math resource and math paper websites. So please check them out and see what they're all saying, and revise as well according to that. Okay, these are just the overarching themes, but make sure you revise according to that. Again, I will be covering these in my Paper 2 rescue session, so feel free to join that if you want. Okay, day 4, you should really be doing this all along, but now you're just kind of focusing on mixed questions across all of the topics. Remember, mechanics has not come up yet at all, okay? And this is going to be the only mechanics section. So make sure you understand all of the content of mechanics, okay? If you don't understand everything about everything, that's not a problem. You just need to understand a good amount about each thing. Make sure that you do your homework, you do your revision, and you know how to do the projectile questions. You know how to do the slope friction questions. You know how to do vectors. You know how to do all of these things, because they will have a chance of coming up. Again, look at the prediction videos to see what's more likely to come up than not. But make sure you're comfortable in a good range of mechanics topics, because a lot of students discount this, but it is pretty much half of the paper and a good deal of those marks, okay? So please don't discount this. And of course, you've got to do your pure practice as well based on what's already come up in paper 1. Okay, so of course, if you can start it sooner, amazing. But if you have to have a few other things to catch up on and do mistakes and things like that, day 4/5 is when you're going to be doing your full paper 2 practice. Okay, this should be timed. This should be fully sat under exam conditions, and you should be doing the full paper 2. Okay, once you feel more confident about being able to answer the questions, okay? Of course, you've got to do the entire paper under time conditions. If you still need more time, stop the timer, start another timer, like a stopwatch timer, and then do the rest of the answers in different coloured pens. So you can see what content you can still do, but you can of course work on the timings. And of course, day 6, you want to be redoing the failed questions, okay? The ones that you struggled with in your paper 2, when you did them yesterday or the day before, whenever. You want to be redoing all of those wrong questions to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes again in the paper and you do understand how to do them independently. So without looking at mark scheme, without looking at notes and all of that, okay? Now, I'm going to add that if you are doing any sort of following a walkthrough from a YouTube video for these questions, please don't assume that just because you've watched someone do it, you can do it yourself. Because 9 times out of 10, that is not the case. You have to be able to have done it yourself, not just once, a few times, to then be able to do it by yourself in an exam, okay? Especially under the time pressure and exam pressure and so on and so forth. So please don't just follow walkthroughs passively. You need to be able to do the question first without somebody explaining, then have them explain, see where you went wrong, and then redo the questions later if you did go wrong. That's all from me. Good luck for your exams. Please let me know if you have any other requests of videos that you want to see, and I will of course put the links that I've mentioned and promised in this video below. But I will say one more time that I will be doing a A-level paper 2 maths rescue session, so please do register your interest if you are interested, okay? It's going to be really great. I'm going to go through common mistakes and things like that students will be making for the A-level paper 2 that you will not if you join. All right, bye-bye.